Hey, let's make sure we are live on our platforms here. Let's double check here. Not yet on Twitter. Let's look. Oh, yeah, we're up. We are up and going. Okay, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 137 of Titos&Chicken, your unofficial South Carolina Gamecocks podcast, coming at you with a low country state of mind. I got Miss Lindsay here, my ride or die. She's joining us again this evening. And we
Hello.
got special guest Zach with us from Famously Garnet. Zach, how you doing, bud?
It's a beautiful day in South Carolina. The sun is shining. It's gonna
Yep.
it's gonna be a great night for some Gamecock football.
Yes, guys, we have our first home night game of the season. I'm so excited. I'm actually still in Charleston after this episode. I will be getting on the road heading to Columbia. Our lot doesn't open until 2:30, so we're kind of that's why we had the late start. But we're so excited to get up there. It's going to be a little warm, Zach. I don't know if you're going to be out there today, but thank God for fans, tents, and beer. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's gonna be a little warm, a little warm.
exactly. Lindsay, where are you watching the matchup today?
I'll be watching at my house in Polly's Island. I thought about
Okay.
putting the game on maybe outside. If it cools down a little bit, we'll see.
Yeah.
If not, we'll just be rocking inside and having a good old time. I was
Yeah.
trying to get my daughter to put her Gamecock shirt on earlier. She refused, but she usually waits till close to the game time. And I was like, I'm not fighting this fight just yet, but I'll fight it later. So
Yeah.
hold on.
I got you. She'll have it on later today, I promise you.
Yeah.
Guys, for our quick hits, we don't have much here. It's been a quiet week for the most part. We have a bye next week. I know my truck is loving that. I'm personally loving that as well. A weekend at home just to relax and watch football from the couch. May pull up over Lindsay's house. Who knows? I mean, but it'll be nice just to stay in Myrtle's Inlet, excuse me, for a change. But yeah, I mean, guys, for this episode, I know it's with Akron. We're playing Akron tonight, but there's really not much to talk about with them. I think the main story here is Lenoris not playing tonight and Ashford getting the start. We've seen Ashford play a few times. It is what it is with him. You haven't seen too much from him. You really haven't. You've seen some QB draws. You've seen some QB sweeps. You've seen a couple of passes there, here and there. But it's been a small sample size with him. Zach, tonight with Ashford, what are you looking forward from him? What do you think we need to see from him to propel into this blowout of a game what everyone's expecting?
I think there's two things that we need to really see from Ashford tonight. For one, is really stretching the game, stretching the pocket, because we've seen Robbie Ashford in the past. In 2022, if you look up what he did at Auburn, he had some really solid passing games against some really
Yeah.
good competition. I mean, for one, he beat a team that South Carolina's never beaten. I mean, with Shane Beamer's Missouri. He's got a win over Missouri. He threw 300 yards against LSU, 330 yards against LSU. Arkansas, he had like a 285-yard game. So the guy can throw.
Yeah.
And if you watch the film, he didn't have the best receivers to work with at Auburn either. So
Yeah.
to me, what I would like to see not only is the Robbie Ashford to obviously get plus 200 through there is what I would like to see, because I think right now there is a concern in the back of everybody's mind right now after Lenoris just recently got injured. Will this happen again? Will we be put in this position again? So Lenoris has time to heal, right? But as Carolina fans, we're all thinking like it didn't take much for him to, for Lenoris to get hurt. So what's going to happen after this game? So I think a lot of people are concerned there. But as far as Robbie Ashford goes, 200 yards through the air is what I'm expecting. Anything less will be a disappointment considering it is Akron. And I mean, the teams that have blown them out so far has been Rutgers and Ohio State, and the only team they beat so far is Colgate. So
yeah, nothing really impressive there.
No.
Lindsey, what about you on this? What do you think Ashford has to show us tonight?
Yeah, I agree with what Zach said. I mean, here's the thing, like he's played in big games. I mean, he transferred from Auburn, all the games that Zach has mentioned. It's not like, he hasn't had experience in the past. Obviously a different offensive situation for him coming into a new program. But I think what he needs to do is I think really what our offensive coordinator needs to do for him is to show confidence in Robbie to call pass plays and to show him that we have trust in that and trust in his arm. Because like you said, he's capable of it. I feel like we know Logan sometimes can get a little vanilla in these games, right? It's kind of like getting by. And I feel like this is the perfect opponent to let him loose. I mean, come on. If we can't throw the ball around against Akron, we got problems. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, if we give him the opportunity, then he's just got to execute it, right? With the help of his receivers. We'll see how that goes, see how they connect. And I think the O-line, too, they can provide the protection for him, which they should be able to. Just give him more time, right? Make him feel comfortable in the pocket so he can make those plays. So we'll see. I mean, I hope it's not something that's just overly simplified, because I feel like that's just a deterrence for him. And also it's just kind of disrespectful. Like, he can do it. Let's show him that we believe in him. You never know with the Norse's injury. You never know, like Zach said. So let's give it.
Well, I tweeted about this early this morning. I was just like, okay, all right, guys, let's take the training wheels off of Ashford. Let's see what he can do, And then I posted a picture of a HB draw. I don't know if you guys saw that. I was like, I don't want to see that every other play. This guy is talented. Like what Zach said with the numbers against LSU, Arkansas. I mean, he was throwing over 250, 300 yards. The guy can do it. So, yeah, take the training wheels off of him. Let him go. Let him free, Back to Lenoris. I said this earlier in the week. I said, guys, if the guy is not 100%, if you're trotting him out there at 70, 80%, there's no need to do that. We're playing Akron and we have a bye next week. Give this guy 2 weeks to heal up, because then we have Ole Miss. We need him more for Ole Miss than we do Akron. That's not even a question. But people were saying to me that he needed more reps, which I can totally understand that. But I mean, the guy's our future. Like, don't trot him out there at 70, 80%, risk further injury than what he has. I mean, come on, it's stupid. But I don't know. I do have a little bit of concern with Lenoris, with his injuries. Has he played a full game yet this year?
No, actually, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no. Well, okay, no, I don't think so.
Has.
I guess if you look at ODU, that might be your best bet there. Although Robbie Ashford did come in for a play or two, but I think the thing about Lenoris right now is that through his growth at South Carolina, he needs to have that internal clock, and it needs to start ticking soon. Because when I say that, these defensive lines are only going to get harder that we're about to face, right? Alabama is coming, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. I mean, it doesn't get any easier. Missouri, Clemson, I mean, Texas A&M. I mean, these defensive lines that South Carolina's about to face, like, and look, the offensive line for South Carolina, compared to last year, has done a pretty damn good job. Let's call it how it is, right?
I agree.
Let's call it how it is. They've had a lot of growth there. But to Lenoris, though, he's got to start making the throws. He's got to start throwing it away. You can't keep getting hit. Like, you've got to have that internal clock, 1, 2, 3, and get that ball out. Like, that's a problem. Like, if he's not doing that, I mean, what's next? It's concerning.
No, it really is. I led that topic with saying that I am concerned a little bit. I mean, I really am, because again, he hasn't completed a game. He's not playing today, obviously not playing next week due to the bye. I mean, I just don't know, man. I wish him obviously the best. I know he will succeed here, but we got to keep him on the field. and he has to be smarter about, diving, sliding, whatever you want to call it. So, that's just something we just got to stay tuned and check on. So, your keys to the game, Lindsey, for this matchup, what you got?
Yeah, I feel like the keys to the game are probably obvious, but I think our defense is going to be the key here as far as just making the plays that we know that they can make. I think that they're going to be able to put Akron's offense in dangerous positions, whether that's, deep in their own end zone, whether that's, third and long situations. And then they're going to be able to force those turnovers that we know that they can do. God, we've seen them, they're pretty dirty, but I think that, or even if he can pin Akron deep, I think our special teams will also have a good game today as far as big play. No, Rue. Sorry, I'm scared.
Sorry about that.
Under me.
Sorry about that, guys. Got dogs in the background. They're a little excited about the matchup as well.
No, you're good. For sure. So I think it's most obvious, but I feel like our defense is going to score today against Akron. I think that'll take some of the pressure off, hopefully, for the offense. But they can't do it all. We know that. We have to have complementary football happening. But yeah, I think special teams could have a play. I think our defense for sure. So that's my key, right? Just continue being South Carolina defense for sure.
Yeah, continue being South Carolina. I love that. When's the last time we could have said that? Literally, I'm being serious. When's the last time we could have said that? Okay, Lindsey, one more question real quick for you. Over, under on sacks today, 4.
I'm going over, right?
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Over.
You're not a betting girl. I know you're not a betting girl, but
no, I always go for it. Don't go big or go home. Come on.
Zach, would you take the over on that? Over on the sacks?
Absolutely. I like where Lindsey's with that because they have allowed 9 sacks in the last 3 games.
We're second in the country in sacks too, aren't we?
We're tied second in the country at and we have 12 on the season already.
Yeah.
That's insane. 12 sacks in 3 games.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, yep. Zach, well, what are your keys to the game for this matchup here, bud?
Yeah, key to the game for this one for me is honestly seeing Robbie Ashford's separation from our receivers in this one. I really want to see our guys get separation in this game and try to get some kind of momentum going into the bye week and then going to play Ole Miss, at home. To me, I feel like we need to see more of that separation because we haven't seen it yet. And I think that, hey, if we see it with Robbie Ashford, you're going to see it with Lenoris as well. No matter who's in the pocket. My guy, and I said this coming into the season, I truly do believe that Delvon Campbell, the transfer from Nevada, is the best receiver we have on this roster. I truly do believe that. Like that guy, he's solid. He got really good separate. You saw him against LSU. Unfortunately, that is the Phantom OPI, by the way.
Oh, God.
The Phantom OPI on that call. Yeah, I know. I had to bring it up. But if you look at that play, Delvon had great separation. And, I'm a big fan of his game. And so I'd like to see these receivers really get out and get open and get something turning because we really have not seen it yet. And I'm not saying that it doesn't exist because I truly do believe it does. So that's one of the keys to the game. And obviously, play calling, right? Lindsey already talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Dow has been very vanilla when we play these non-P5 teams, very, small teams. And I get it against ODU. I understand the game plan there. Against, Akron going to play Ole Miss, we'll see there. I'd like to see more, like I said, from our play calling and see what we can do with Dow and see what he can dial up. I'll tell you this, against LSU, okay, game plan what he had against LSU was strong. It was working. It was clicking until Lenoris got hurt, right?
Yeah.
So if you formulate a really good game plan with Robbie Ashford, you get put in that position again. I think it's going to, pay off and do dividends for us later down if this does happen again, and it very well could, right? So we can't leave that off the table.
And just to open up the playbook again, we talked about this numerous times today. Let this guy just be himself, let him throw the ball, ease him into the game. screen passes, play action fake, just build the confidence, because running sweeps, QB sweeps and QB draws, that's not going to cut it, man. It's really, I don't care who you're playing. It's not going to cut it. It's not, you're not giving a quarterback confidence, So my thing, key to the game, you brought it up too. I want to see the wide receivers, man. Like, have we established a number one yet? No. I mean, we're in game 4, going into game 4. We don't even know who our number one receiver is. I'm hoping that we can get that going today. Get in a rhythm, get Ashford in with someone, connecting with someone, and get that figured out. Because like you said, Zach, you got Missouri, you got A&M, you got Alabama, you got Oklahoma. We got to get something established here offensively. I mean,
I do want to say this about the receivers real quick. Is that they're blocking. If you've watched their blocking the last few games, fantastic. Mm-hmm. And it is tough to find really good blocking receivers, man. And like if you watch, I think it was Gage that had that block for the Rocket Sanders touchdown against LSU, the 66-yard run. Mm-hmm. That is what we call fundamental right there. That was perfect.
Yeah. So excuse me, Zach, I didn't mean to cut you off there. We actually have a chat room as well, and we have James chiming in the chat room. He wants to know, what's the deal with Jared Brown? I felt you would know this more than Lindsey and I. Any word on him? Nothing?
No, I don't have anything on Jared Brown.
So he more than likely won't be starting today?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's a little dinged up. I don't think we'll see TJ Sanders today. I think maybe that's already been stated, but I would doubt we see TJ Sanders. I mean, get these guys healthy. Get these guys healthy. Anybody that needs to rest up, rest up. There's no reason we putting you guys out there against Akron. Sorry, there's none.
I hear you. I totally hear you on that. Okay, well, Lindsey, give me your biggest question for this matchup tonight.
Yeah, it's basically, we've already talked about it. I think it brought it up, which my question, where my mind went, is with Coach Loggins, right? Will he be creative with his play calling? Like we've already mentioned, what kind of game plan is there going to be for Robbie Ashford in his first start? So not to rehash everything we've already said, but I think too, with our wide receivers, I agree, seeing an emergence there of, kind of that, who is going to be that threat? I mean, I think we have, like we mentioned, guys that are capable of it, but we need to establish somebody. So I hope to see that today, that wide receiver support for Robbie Ashford against this team. Yeah. So stay tuned. But that's my question.
No,
what will offensive game plan look like is my biggest question. For us.
Will we be conservative, or will we just air it out? That's a great question. Yeah. Zach, how about you? Your biggest question for this matchup here?
My biggest question for this matchup is
got to think a little bit on this one, guys.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I had a thought process on this one, but honestly, it's Robbie Ashford and Dow Loggins. Will they, kind of like Lindsey said, will Dow let him rip it? As we know he can. That's my biggest question. I think to me is that with Jared, like I said, more than likely with Jared Brown out today, which probably more than likely will be, I think you're going to see more of Mazio there, right? We'll see more of Mazio, and we'll see what he can really do. I think Mazio's been solid. I think Gamecock Dave has talked about there in the comments, as you see on the over there. But
see him over there.
Yeah. And I just could we see a little bit of what Harbor can do speed wise? Can we see a little bit? Can we see something?
Something.
Yeah. Can we see something? Please. Right?
Seriously.
Right?
Look. He does, but I'm like, man, come on. Did we forget?
Yeah. Look, literally. I know we can all turn on EA college football and play it, right? We can run jet sweeps with Harbor. We can do this. We can do that.
Yeah.
But it's not real life, right? It's not real life. But let's see a little something out of Nick in this game. Can we see a little bit? That's all I ask. A little bit.
No, I hear you. Like, have we even has there been excuse me, drawn up for him just to run a streak? Have we seen it? Like, I
Streak wise, no. There
yeah,
have been plays for Harbor, but I will tell you this: I think 2 or 3, he's run the wrong route. So we
yeah, I
gotta,
can see that. I can
he's
see it.
still learning. He's still learning. Like guys, we gotta keep this in mind, right? Like Nick Harbor came in and from high school. He's not a true wide receiver. He's still learning the game. He still is having learning curves. I mean, it's part of it. He's still learning. And I hate to say it. I mean, we may be till junior year that we actually get a solid year out of him. He could blow up
Yeah,
this season. I mean, that could still be on the table, right? And anything's
yeah,
still available. I mean, anything can happen.
that's
But
true.
I
Very true.
fans got to temper expectations back. A lot of them said, "Oh, Nick Harba's gonna be the number 1 wide receiver, the season, and for yada yada yada."
Yeah,
You got to temper it back. You got to temper it back.
yeah. And I I'm waiting. I'm waiting not on Nick Harbor, but I'm waiting on a proven wide receiver one to step up and just
Yes.
be like, hey, I'm ready to take over. But I mean, you can't really do that when you're having problems at the quarterback position as well. Not bad problems, but I'm talking about injuries, a little bit of inconsistencies from time to time. Guys, I'm really curious to see what Ashford can do today. I'm not even gonna lie, because this whole situation with Sellers, how he's getting banged up here and there. We don't know if he's going to be able to last all season. We don't. So we need to have a solidified number 2 quarterback. I saw people talk about Reno a little bit in the comments. Doty in the comments a little bit. Do you think we see Doty at all today at quarterback, Lindsey?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. Because I mean, right now he's worked all season with the wide receivers, really.
Wide receivers, yes.
I hope not, in the sense that I hope it doesn't get to that. Not that that's desperate, but I feel like if you have to, Robbie's gone all week as QB1 all through practice, and then you have to pull him to put Luke Doty in, then that makes me concerned that this game's close or something has gone
or something has gone wrong. Yeah,
or something's gotten hurt or something's happened bad. I mean, I think that's just my opinion. Not hating on Luke Doty or anything like that, but I just like that would be like.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Dogs got excited again. Let me give them a second here to calm down. Bentley, please. Sorry, they're very excited, guys. I apologize. But okay, Zach, let me get here your score prediction for this game. What you got, bud?
I'm thinking I was way off last time. Way off. But it's still Akron, right? I'm gonna go with I hate to say this. Let me get a 31-13 score, South Carolina over Akron. I'd like to see more, and that's not obviously covered the spread, but
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
What is the spread? I haven't even seen the spread yet.
I think it's 27.5, 28, I think.
Ooh, okay. Lindsey, where are you at score prediction on this episode?
Yeah.
Or this game tonight, excuse me.
This episode is a 10 out of 10.
Dogs got me distracted, y'all. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. What you got, Lindsey?
I think I'm going, I don't know. I think we keep them out of the end zone, but maybe that's just wishful. I don't know. But I have it 35-6. I mean, I don't think they're going to score a touchdown, but maybe that's just wishful thinking, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. I'm at 38-10. I know that's a lot of scoring for a second string quarterback, but I see we're running in a lot of touchdowns. I see Rocket going off. I see Rocket and company going off. So I'm at 38-10 for this matchup here today. And we go into the bye week. We get Lenore's healthy. And then we got Ole Miss coming into town. I'm praying that will be a night game. Zach, do you think that'll be a night game? Because it's a flex, isn't it? I believe.
Yes, and as history repeats itself, right? 2008, the last time Ole Miss was in town, came in at number 4, Jevin Sneed. Dexter McCluster. We all know how that game ended. The birth of Sandstorm in itself. I think it'd be poetic justice. You have to make it a night game. You have to, right? So make it a
Can
night
you
game.
imagine Williams-Brice if that's a freaking 7:00 primetime ABC ESPN game? Holy crap! And where is Ole Miss? They're top 10, aren't they? I believe
Top 5.
top 5.
It could.
Wow.
They could really be either number 5 or number 4 again in the country. Like like I said, history could repeat itself. Don't So.
Okay. Well, let's get by Akron first today. Hopefully everyone's healthy coming out of this matchup. We do not need anyone getting injured against Akron. I would probably yell in that stadium if that's the case. But
that history doesn't need to repeat itself like it did when we played them last time. That does not need to happen.
No, exactly. And I think the last time we played them was at home. It was pouring that game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that was an ugly game, wasn't the score? Like, I can't remember.
28-3. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
But we lost Zach Bailey for the season in the fourth quarter. He should not have been playing. Muschamp is just an idiot. So.
Zach's just speaking facts, guys.
Any day you want it, bro. I will give it to you, bro. I got all the dirt on Muschamp. I got all the dirt on Muschamp. Just know that.
We'll save that for another episode. All right, Zach. But no, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys in the chat room for coming in, chiming in, saying what you got to say. We really, really appreciate that. And guys, when I tweet out about the listener questions, send us a question or two. Lindsey and I, and if Zach's with us, we love answering questions. Like, we really do. That's personally my favorite segment of the show. And we actually still have people talking in the chat room as we speak. Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much. Gamecock Dave, James, thank you guys so much, seriously, for chatting with us. I'm going to go ahead and pack up here, get on the road, get to Columbia. If you are in Columbia, come to the tailgate, guys. I got plenty of flip cup, beer, chicken wings, just everything you need. Zach,
it's always fun tailgate. It's always a fun tailgate.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Zach. All right, guys.